On June 12, 2025, India witnessed one of its deadliest aviation disasters when Air India flight AI171, a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, crashed moments after takeoff from Ahmedabad, en route to London Gatwick. The tragedy claimed the lives of 241 passengers and crew, with only one survivor, a British national of Indian descent. In this video, we will cover a detailed, chronological, and analytical account of the crash, the aircraft's history, the flight's final moments, possible causes, expert opinions, the meteorological conditions that day, maintenance insights, and the many unanswered questions that continue to baffle investigators and the public alike. Let's begin with an overview of the aircraft and its background. The aircraft involved was a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, one of the most advanced and safest commercial jets. Introduced in 2011, this particular plane was delivered to Air India in January 2014 and had a clean operational history, with regular maintenance and no major incidents reported prior to the crash. Records show its last check inspection was performed just 3 weeks before the disaster. The Dreamliner was designed with state-of-the-art safety systems, composite materials, and redundant flight controls, making this the first fatal crash involving a 787-8 since its commercial debut. Now, let's examine Air India's safety record. Air India, once state-owned, has faced several tragedies in its past. Notable incidents include the 2010 Mangalore crash with 158 dead, the 2020 Kozhikode runway overrun with 18 dead, and the 978 crash into the sea with 213 dead. Despite these, the airline had not experienced a fatal accident involving a Dreamliner until now. We also note that global regulators had previously raised concerns about the Dreamliner's electrical systems and battery safety. Moving on to the flight itself, its route and timeline. Flight AI171 was scheduled to depart from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport, Ahmedabad, at 13:39 local time 08:09 GMT, bound for London Gatwick. Weather reports that afternoon indicated clear skies but moderate crosswinds. On board were 242 people, 230 passengers and 12 crew members, including 169 Indian nationals, 54 British, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian. The aircraft took off with a full load of fuel, about 100 tons, preparing for the long-haul journey to the UK. According to Flight Radar 24, the aircraft's signal was lost within a minute of takeoff, at an altitude of just 625 feet, 190 meters. The plane issued a mayday call to air traffic control, but no further communications were received. The Dreamliner veered off course and descended rapidly, crashing into a newly built medical college hostel in the Meghani Nagar area, about 1.5 kilometers from the runway. Let's talk about the crash site and the immediate aftermath. The crash occurred during lunchtime, with the hostel housing resident doctors, some of whom became victims. Eyewitnesses described a massive explosion, thick black smoke, and debris scattered across the area. CCTV footage captured the plane flying low over residential buildings before vanishing, followed by a fireball and rising smoke. The aircraft's tail was found lodged atop the building, with fuselage fragments strewn around. In terms of casualties, 241 people on board perished. Only one man, Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, survived after miraculously leaving the wreckage. Several fatalities and injuries were reported on the ground, with at least 24 deaths among hostel occupants, though numbers varied in early reports. More than 50 people were hospitalized, and at least 7 were unaccounted for in the immediate aftermath. Next, here's the story of the sole survivor and what eyewitnesses had to say. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh's testimony. The sole survivor, a British citizen of Indian descent, recalled hearing a loud noise seconds after takeoff, followed by the plane's rapid descent and breakup. He described being thrown from the aircraft before a massive explosion, managing to reach an ambulance though with some injuries. Ramesh also mentioned seeing flickering green and white lights in the cabin moments before the crash, an unusual detail that has intrigued investigators. Eyewitnesses, residents reported a deafening explosion and saw the sky fill with thick smoke. Rescuers described chaos, with burning wreckage and injured victims being rushed to hospitals using auto rickshaws. Local accounts highlighted the hostel's recent construction and partial occupancy, which may have limited ground casualties. Now let's turn to the investigation. What is known so far? Indian authorities, with assistance from Boeing and US and UK aviation experts, launched a comprehensive investigation. The probe is centered on the aircraft's engines, flight control surfaces, flaps, fuel systems, electrical and avionics systems, and any possible mechanical or human failures. One of the 2 black boxes, flight data recorder or cockpit voice recorder, was reportedly found within 48 hours, but its contents have not yet been disclosed. Investigators are conducting a detailed forensic analysis of the wreckage, crash trajectory, flight data, weather conditions, and available cockpit recordings. The process is expected to take months, with a preliminary report due in 3-6 months and a final report possibly taking up to 2 years. Let's explore some possible causes, what experts are considering. Critical phase of flight. Most aviation accidents occur during takeoff or landing, but a catastrophic failure so soon after takeoff in a modern aircraft is exceedingly rare. Leading theories: engine failure. A sudden loss of power in one or both engines could explain the rapid descent and inability to gain altitude. Flap malfunction. If the wing flaps were not correctly set for takeoff, the aircraft would struggle to lift off. Bird strike. Ahmedabad's proximity to open fields raises the possibility of a bird strike damaging an engine or flight control system. Fuel or weight issues. While the aircraft was fully fueled, improper weight distribution or a fuel system malfunction could have destabilized the plane. Electrical or avionics failure. The survivors' flickering lights could point to an electrical fault, wiring issue, or cockpit display failure. Pilot error. Although both pilots were experienced, a misjudgment or procedural error cannot be ruled out until the cockpit voice recorder is analyzed. Sabotage or external factors. No evidence currently points to sabotage, but investigators will consider all possibilities. Structural or composite failure. Given the Dreamliner's composite airframe, investigators are examining potential unexpected fractures or bonding issues. Expert opinions. Aviation safety experts are particularly troubled by the speed and severity of the crash, given the Dreamliner's advanced safety features. Some analysts note that the aircraft's composite fuselage and battery safeguards may have been compromised. Now let's ask the critical questions, those that remain unanswered and mind-boggling. Why did a modern, well-maintained Dreamliner fail so catastrophically in clear weather, with experienced crew? What caused the loud noise and flickering lights reported by the survivor? Was it a systems failure, explosion, or something else? Why did the aircraft issue a mayday but provide no further communication? Were the crew incapacitated or overwhelmed by a rapid sequence of failures? How did the sole survivor manage to be ejected and survive, while everyone else perished? Did the aircraft's full fuel load contribute to the severity of the fire and destruction? Was there a design flaw, maintenance lapse, or undetected technical issue unique to this aircraft? Could the crash have been prevented by different crew actions, or was it a sudden, unavoidable catastrophe? What role, if any, did the hostel's construction and location play in the crash's outcome? Were there any warning signs in the aircraft's maintenance logs or flight history? So what happens next? The Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, AAIB of India, is leading the inquiry, with support from the US National Transportation Safety Board and the UK Air Accidents Investigation Branch. The investigation will analyze black box data, air traffic control recordings, maintenance records, weather logs, wiring diagrams, and witness statements. Recommendations may include changes to aircraft design, maintenance protocols, crew training, emergency checklist revisions, or airport operations. The process is slow but vital for global aviation safety, aiming to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Now let's look at the impact and responses. National and international response. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the crash site, expressing condolences and pledging a full investigation. Boeing dispatched a team of specialists to assist Indian authorities. The Federal Aviation Administration has issued a safety notice urging all operators to review 787 electrical and maintenance logs. The crash has sent shockwaves through the aviation industry, given the Dreamliner's reputation for safety. Air India's statement. The airline described the event as a tragic accident and is cooperating fully with investigators. Support is being provided to victims' families and the lone survivor. Considering broader implications, the incident has raised questions about the Dreamliner's safety and the adequacy of current aviation protocols. It underscores the importance of rigorous maintenance, crew training, emergency preparedness, and ongoing regulator oversight, even with the most advanced aircraft. The crash will likely lead to renewed scrutiny of Air India's operational standards and may prompt global regulators to update composite airframe safety guidelines. Let's talk about the pilots. Pilot in command. Captain Sumit Sabharwal served as the pilot in command of Flight AI171. He had accumulated over 200 hours of flying experience, including thousands on the 787 and numerous international routes. Co-pilot Clive Kundar had logged 100 hours of flight time, certified for long-haul operations on the Dreamliner. Both pilots were among the 12 crew members who perished in the crash. Their experience levels are noteworthy in the context of the ongoing investigation. Finally, here's the conclusion. The crash of Air India Flight AI171 is a stark reminder that, despite technological advances, aviation remains vulnerable to rare but catastrophic failures. The loss of 241 lives, passengers, crew, people on the ground, has left a profound impact on families, the aviation community, and the nation. As investigators work to unravel the sequence of events that led to this tragedy, the world waits for answers. The lessons learned from this disaster, including insights into composite materials, electrical systems, and emergency response, will shape the future of air travel, ensuring that the memories of those lost contribute to safer skies for all. Our hearts mourn with the families of those involved. Subscribe and stay tuned for further updates.